Hello and welcome to Deliberately Creative. I'm Stephanie and I want to welcome you to another drawing lesson from the sketchbook. Let's get started on this really sweet little owl on a craggy old tree in front of a full moon. It's fast, it's fun, it's easy, and you can color it any way you wish. Come with me and let's get started.
This is going to be a cute little Halloween picture. And I have seen things similar to this one out all over the internet. So there's no one that I can find that is the sole person who has done a silhouette of an owl in front of the moon. So I am going to do a little tree branch that's reaching across. It's kind of thick and chunky, and then it's reaching across, and the branches get thinner as they work their way away. And we're like this. And since it's a silhouette, we'll be able to fill that in without having to worry about which way we're crossing lines or anything like that. So I've got a branchy branch that's going up this way, but then I want some that are coming down. Make it more of a spooky branch. And it needs to be a thicker branch because of how thick I got it out here. There we go. Now, right now I'm drawing this with I want that branch to be kind of lumpy up that way. I'm drawing this with the Pitt Artist Pen that is the sepia. There's no leaves on this tree. And they're just kind of lumpity and bumpity branches. They're just reaching out all over the place. And like I said, you don't have to worry about how these are joining in. They can overlap the line. This is a craggy old tree. So by the time I'm done getting the bumps and crags and things like that all in here, there's no need to worry if I put a line down wrong. It's just adding texture. Okay, the owl is going to be right here. And this little owl is just a cute little owl. He doesn't have anything spooky or scary about him. He's just an owl. And when I go and start shadowing in this tree, because if you think about it, with the moon behind it, there's not much in the way of lighting on this side of the tree. It's pretty much all in shadows, but you might have some reflected light from other buildings, or water might be nearby and it might be reflecting the moon back up a little bit. So it doesn't have to be completely in dark. So you can do that scribble fill, sort of follow the shape of the tree, but every once in a while cross in, because that gives you that texture of the bark. I'm thinking about the owl right now, so that's why I'm coloring in the tree. So that is one way of how I figure out what I'm doing. Sometimes I just go and start coloring in parts that I've already finished so that I can work out what I'm going to do next. And I'm doing this in this scratchy, back and forth, up and down, sideways type of coloring in with the pen, because I want it to sort of feel like this is a crunchy textured bark. And I don't want it to be completely dark. Because if it's totally dark, you can't see any texture. Then it just starts looking more like a cartoon. I mean, this is not a realistic drawing. This is a beginner tree because it's so forgiving. You can just widen up those lines if you need to. Just remember, as you go out to the tips, you end up with skinnier lines. And by having little hooks and bends in them, hooks and bends in them, you get all of these fun extra shapes. There we go. See? And how spooky that makes that feel. Just from being sort of that scribbled in, not worried about making it perfect, leaving a little bit of some light along the back, that bottom edge. And now down this trunk here, I'm going to just give it a whole bunch of long lines that are kind of coming up next to each other. And then maybe I'll start following some of those lines and making them a little bit darker. There we go. Okay, I think I know what I'm going to do for my little owl. And then I'll show you a really spiffy trick for putting in the moon. And the part that I really am I'm really interested in is from about here to here. So I'm not too worried about what the tree bits look like over here. I mean, I can go ahead and give it just a little bit more. Some sideways, a little bit of texture. Cross-hatching with these long sort of loopy strokes. See how those are sort of loopy, kind of rounding off on the ends. Gives you that feeling that there's some bark in there. Just like that. Oh yeah, that's very bark-like. All right, so this little owl, he's actually very cute and very easy because he's basically let's see, if I say he's basically a tall gumdrop. So he's sort of flat along the bottom, and then he goes up and rounds over and comes down. Just like that. Then I'm going to go up and I'm going to give him a little ear and a little ear, because he's going to be getting colored in. Now I have two circles that are going to be next to each other, but I'm leaving them not attached in the middle. Then I will put two solid circles. He looks kind of like he has a little mask on now. And a beak. Then he's going to get just a dot and a dot. Now, he doesn't have to look really like too much here. I think I want to round him out just a little bit. And now I'm going to pull in, those are his wings. This is a very, very easy, kind of cartoony little owl. He's mostly going to end up being in silhouette, but not completely. Not completely in silhouette, because I want to be able to see his eyes. I want to see his beak. So what I'm going to do is lightly go in for his chest. And you see what I did here is I colored my lines very close to each other, following the wings for the wing feathers, making those wings nice and dark. And then for his chest, I just did very light lines. And the way you get the lighter color is I left white spaces. I didn't color those pen strokes so tight. Now the top of his head is going to be darker like his wings, and I'm going to color his little pointy feather ear tufts. Those are not where his ears are. Those are just little tufts of feathers up here. I'm going to curl that in a little bit, just like that. Look how sweet he is. Now under his eyes, I'm going to go ahead and darken, just like under where his wings are. And under his beak, I'm going to darken, just like that. Now I am just going to put a couple little dots down his beak, not too much. I don't want to completely make it go away, but I just want a tiny little bit of color to show. And now I'm going to just put these little feather lines around his eyeballs, and we are almost done. We're going to put the moon in, and then I think I will probably give the moon a quick color of some yellow, and we will be completely finished. All right, so to put the moon in, I am just grabbing a little lid. One of the nice things about using a little lid like this is that I can see what I'm trying to line up with the moon. And I'm trying to see, do I want my moon up higher? Or do I want my moon down lower, like it's rising right behind him? Do I want it over farther, out from behind the tree? I think I want it partially behind the tree, and I want it partially higher up. And now I am going to take my pen. I am going to lightly put in my line where I'm going to be coloring for my moon. Just like that. So let's go with the lighter yellow first. Ooh, that is a bright yellow. I'm going to work that one around because I don't really want it to look like the sun. Although all of the light that you see from the moon is actually just reflected sunlight. So the moon can be more of a yellow tone. There we go. Just getting that in there. And we are just about done. I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, click that like button, subscribe to the channel, share the video with your friends. Make sure that you leave me a comment and let me know what you would like to see me do. I have a whole nother week still of Inktober. So I am really enjoying it. There we go. We are just about, ooh, there we go. We can get a few little craters in. Not too much. All right. As always, go out, do something creative, take care of yourself so you can take care of those around you. And I hope to see you back here again really soon.